You're listening to the audio production of The Empress of Cooke County, a novel by Elizabeth Bass Parman. Published by Harper Muse and performed by Brittany Pressley. This book is dedicated to the memory of my father, Robinson Neal Bass, who always knew this day would come. Chapter 1. Posey. Posey Jarvis snatched the newsletter from her mailbox and rushed inside. Maneuvering around a pair of cloisonne lamps, she entered her bedroom, crammed full of ornate furniture that looked as out of place as a ball gown at a square dance. She nodded at the renewal reminder on the envelope. 1966 membership fee due by February 1st. If receiving updates on Frances Ryan meant ponying up annual dues to the Nashville Garden Club, she would gladly siphon the money from her grocery allowance and send it in. She sat at her vanity, digging under her datebook and scarves for the silver flask stolen long ago, a memento from the happiest week of her life. As she unscrewed the cap, she wondered again if CJ had ever noticed it was missing, and why he stayed married to Frances. On her darkest days, she berated herself for not being enough to trigger their divorce, but most of the time, she blamed either CJ or Frances. After a long pull of gin, she scanned the newsletter. The headline announced, "Garden Club gathers at President's Coventry Circle Home to discuss new city garden," with a photo of Frances on her sofa holding a sketch, surrounded by fawning club members peering over her shoulders. Posey read, 18 years ago, I traveled to New Zealand on a horticultural tour. Recently, I came across a souvenir from that time, which brought back vivid memories. I used my notes and photos from that trip to recreate the gardens here in my beloved Nashville. Posey smiled wistfully as she recalled what had transpired while Frances was on the far side of the globe. Before Frances's plane had even reached cruising altitude, CJ had whisked the then 19-year-old Posey Birch from her dumpy apartment and into his stunning home for 7 whole days of uninterrupted passion. CJ had downshifted the white Jaguar as he turned into the driveway that day, the growl of the engine thrilling her with its power. She gasped as the 3-story house came into view, silently vowing to live there as CJ's wife one day. My God, it's a mansion. Yep, she calls it Eden Hall. The last day of their week-long rendezvous, CJ had been tense. He yelled up the stairs, "Damn it, Posey, hurry! Her plane lands in 20 minutes!
Sample complete. Ready to continue?